Welcome back, guys, to JB ADV. Welcome back to the build series we got going on the KLX 140G. My name is Jacob. Like always, here on the channel, everything is an experiment unless it works. Then I planned it that way. That couldn't be more of a true statement than what we're doing to this KLX. If you guys are just joining or just clicked on this video, we got this thing street titled. So what we're doing is we're slowly converting it over to a enduro, pretty much a mini enduro. You know, the headlight, tail light, and in regards to that, what we've also done in the last video, if you guys saw it, is we threw the new Pro Circuit T6 exhaust on. If you guys haven't seen that video or would like to see the intro to this build series, it was kind of like a mashup of all different things. I was getting the parts, yada yada. I'll link that up below, so go check that out. If you guys are enjoying the series so far and you can't wait for another one, make sure you hit that subscribe button. Give us a like, really does help us out. But anyway, let's continue right back into it. So we did the exhaust like I said, so now the next step is pretty much all the wiring. I think that's going to be the tough part to get done, is just figure out where we're running everything. So I have all the covers off, as you guys can see, pretty much as naked as it could be. So I have easily, like, all the room to run it. So over here, guys, we have the Tusk kit. We are doing the Tusk Enduro Kit, like I stated in the last video. So I do have the taillight already disassembled from the packaging. I was already mocking it up a little bit. I'll be honest with you guys, I think it's going to look really cool. This is the main wiring harness that I just dropped all the zip ties. Oh, but it's all right. So I have the main wiring harness here. We're going to need those anyway, so I can just take it out. And I have like the blinkers and everything else, but we'll see how far we get in this video, guys. Yeah, so I'm going to unravel this harness here. We're going to cut over to the bike. I'm going to start laying it out for you guys, and let's see how it goes. All right, guys, so this is the whole harness right here. This is the rear portion. This is the front portion of the bike. Rear portion, pretty self-explanatory. I mean, going by their directions, everything is color coordinated. This is your main power from the battery. This is for your tail light, blinkers, and your ground for the rear end. So the rear looks pretty simple. The pink here, I believe, is for the brake light switch for the rear. And then in the front, this is going to be pretty simple, I think. Same exact color combo for your turn signals here with the same ground. You have a couple other positives here. You have a couple for their main control, a main on and off. You have stuff for your horn, and you have another one if you guys want to install another switch in the front, which is what we're planning on doing. So it seems pretty simple here, and you have controls here as well for your headlights and stuff to be able to control them and whatnot. So yeah, it seems pretty simple. We're just gonna have to sit here and start fishing this through. I don't know where exactly I'm gonna tuck wires yet. I might have to, you know, move the battery around so I can fit wires in. That might just be, you know, a little bit of a finishing touch type thing, but yeah, I'm just gonna start wiring this up, guys, and we're gonna see how it goes. So that's for the tail light. That's perfect. For the blinkers, it's perfect. All that should be right there. I don't see that being an issue at all. Now we just gotta get this thick mess all the way through the whole bike. Probably should have started in the middle of the bike, I guess, right? Now I gotta go under this. And then up here. Alright, guys, so you watched me fish it through a little bit. I probably should have started at the middle and work my way both directions, but it is what it is. Small frame, and there's a lot of holes throughout because there's not much wiring to these stock, really. So, but it looks pretty simple. I followed some of the main harnesses. I mean, this is definitely the main harness right here, so looks like I'm only going to really have to zip tie maybe like 3-4 places, which is really easy. They give you a bunch of zip ties that come with the kit, so far so good. This little tail section right here is going to be perfect to house some of the wiring. If I have really any extra after doing the tail light, I got some space behind the battery as well. All the way up here in the front, there's some mounting points here as well that are not being used. So if I have to zip tie all this up. I should be able to, especially behind that headlight that has the extensions. I think we'll be okay. I think we're gonna have plenty of room. So now I'm just gonna have to, I don't know, I guess just start messing around with this and start plugging in some stuff. I think honestly the next step that I'm going to do is the tail light. So I'll show you guys what I got planned for that. Okay guys, so this is the complete Fender with the tail light assembly from Tusk. It has the hole in it already, so with the wire ran on top, and they give you a lot of wire actually. This is a lot of wire. So like I said, I'm gonna have some to tuck away. But this is a little LED in the back, which I really like. I really like the Tusk stuff is LED right now. And then they do give you a little bit of a spot here to mount a license plate. So you just gotta drill a couple holes. But regardless, we're gonna have to drill holes in this because we're gonna have to figure out a way to mount it here. So there's a couple different ways I was thinking about mounting this taillight. The first one is uglier than the second, which is still not too great, but it is what it is. So tucked up underneath, up here on the top here, right under where the back of your seat is, there's two mounting holes already built in for the fender that goes into the subframe. So what I think I'm going to do is actually use the very back portion of this to tap into that. If I do that back here, it actually creates like a hidden integrated light look. And that's the way it would be. I would just butt this up as far up into that notch as possible. And then this is kind of the look we would get, is something along this line here, right? The other way I could do it is make 4 complete holes, and then it would be right here. But I think this looks ugly. I'm gonna be honest with you guys. It just adds so much more Fender. And I mean, it's not the ugliest thing in the world. Trust me, there's a lot of bikes like, I mean, man, even my 250L, the stock piece on the back was, whew, it was pretty bad. But I think the way we're gonna go is here. You're still gonna see that tail light from behind, especially when we hit it. So I don't know, and it kind of protects it a little bit more, you know what I mean? In case something comes down here. That's just the way I'm thinking, and I get to use these factory holes as well. So the other thing I'm thinking, guys, is this wire has to come up here through somewhere, right? So right here, I think I'm gonna drill the hole to have the wire come right down into here, because tucked up underneath, you're still, by the time you're right here, you still got the rest of this fender blocking it. So not much stuff should come up into this. I mean, all this stuff is waterproof and everything to begin with already, or at least water resistant, so I'm not too concerned about it, but I think that's the route we're gonna go. So they do not supply bolts. It's the only downside. They don't supply the bolts because it is a very universal thing to install. But using these two for right now, as long as I get this somewhat mounted up, maybe even tape it, and then I could come through and just mark these holes, I think we should be able to get it to at least stay there for now. And then we could work on getting this hole drilled out and then work on mounting the blinkers. All right, guys, so what I did, I just held it underneath and then took a very thin Phillips head and just poked little 2 spots on there. I can see them. They're barely there, but I can see them. And now I'm just going to find a drill bit that matches the bolt size, maybe a little bit bigger. And then I'm just going to punch 2 holes right here, and we should be able to get this at least temporarily mounted up. And then from there, we can move on to some other things. Actually, I got to drill a hole through here as well, big enough to fit this.
Oh, jeez.
So it's going to be a decent-sized hole, unless there's a different way I route this. But I really don't see any other decent way of doing this unless I can just route these up this way.
You're probably better off doing it on this side, no? Away from the exhaust?
Oh yeah, definitely away from the exhaust. 100%. I'm just saying around.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah, definitely. You know what? Let me go pull one of my plastics and let me put it up and around here, the wire, and let me see how much room I have and or how much it covers it. So I want it hidden. Yeah. That's the big thing. We want this. We don't want to see that. No, we don't want to see anything. We want this to look very, very professional as an install. So I'm gonna take my time with it, guys. I suggest you do the same thing. Have fun with it. Take your time. And yeah, I mean, and don't feel bad for drilling through your plastics. I mean,
I'm feeling bad.
Yeah, I know you are, but I mean, it is what it is. I'm gonna have to just send it, you know? You just gotta send it, bud. It's gonna have to be a way bigger hole than this, but there we go. We have a hole. So that's it, no turning back. Not that that would really mean affect anything, to be honest with you guys. But yeah, we have a small hole now. So now from there, I could try to elongate it so I could fit the entire bushel through. We were thinking about running this along the side here, but with her plastic on, there's such a small gap.
Almost no gap.
Yeah, there's like almost no gap, and then it would actually expose the wire underneath as well. I don't want to take that chance at all of a rock coming up or anything else, or mud coming up, corroding it, so on and so forth. Anything could happen, really. You just never know. A stick could come up and just tear it to shreds. So I'd rather stay underneath here, under a couple layers of plastic, something along those lines.
Ew.
So we'll have to clean that up.
X-Acto knife? That might work, actually.
Yeah, that actually might work really well.
Let me go get it.
All right, guys, so I got it electrical taped up right now. The fender's still loose because I don't have those mounts in. But back here on the other side, we did make a hole. It's not perfect. It doesn't have to be perfect, but this hole was big enough to fit the main harness through. It's the only way I could go. I had to make it, and it's just big enough to make that through. So it'd be plenty big enough to run other things. I'm thinking tomorrow at the hardware store, I could run out and I could get a grommet, maybe push everything through a grommet tomorrow. I'm not sure. We'll see how that goes. But moving on forward now, I had to mount this up so I can get an idea of how to mount these blinkers up. So with the blinkers, I got to undo this screw and then pull this whole assembly off, and then I can use this rubber gasket here as my template for how to mount my holes, and then I could just drill the 2 holes for the blinkers, and then I'll have to pull the fender back off and run all the wiring up. You don't have too much plastic area, like surface area here, that they leave you until it starts to curve up.
Yeah, but...
So, I mean, there's really only about one spot you can put it. If you run it as, like, far down as possible, you can run it pretty much right to the back. Pretty much right there. That's where I'm thinking.
Yeah, that looks fun.
Yeah. Yep, that's where we're going with. So right there. And right there. Get dead center on that. Watch your fingers on the other side. That should be enough. All right. We stuff these through. Let's see if it fits. I wanted to start smaller than bigger.
I think you can get it in there.
I think so.
Once you get it through, then you could pull it from the other side.
I think I'm through already. Ooh, that's tight. It's okay. I'm just taking my time.
It's going through fine.
I don't want to rip it, and taking my time. There it is. That's all the way through. So now we just need to throw the bolt through, and they should be installed. Yeah. Just gotta angle it up more.
Cool. That's what the first side looks like. So now we're going to move on to the other side.
All right, guys, so I got both blinkers done, and then I wired all the wiring through. And this is exactly what it would look like. I'm pressing up on the fender to show you. But this is how much wire would be here from the rear end of the kit. Nothing's hooked up right now because, like I said, I still have to mount this. Then I'll go through and I'll do everything. But I did hook the main power wire up. So this, if in theory, if I connected this to this plug right here, the whole kit would have power. And what's really nice is right after that, it is fused. So anything, if you really wanted to, you could tap from that. So as soon as you turn on the kit, you'd have full power for everything else. I think that's what I'm going to do for the headlight, but I haven't made it that far yet. But if you come into the back, I'll show you exactly what it looks like. So this is with both blinkers mounted up, and I have it tucked up underneath. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to sit here and I'm going to zip tie the main harness all the way up so I know this is all secure. And then I'm going to work on the front. I'm going to mount like little things like the horn and everything else. And then I'm going to take a look at that front headlight and see what I got to do to get that kind of running, I guess, so to speak. I can't mount any of the switches that come with it, which would be your headlight switches for this kit and the on and off button for the whole entire kit. I was going to try my best to bypass that as well, but just looking into the wiring diagram of this bike, I don't think that's going to be possible. So I'm going to end up using that factory switch that they give you to just turn the whole kit on and off. But regardless, I still have to wire everything in before I even know what I'm doing. So, you know what I mean? Or what adventures lie ahead so in this whole project. So, yeah, let's just get to it. I'm just going to zip tie this stuff up real quick, guys, and I'll be eating the front end. We've made our way over to the front end. I zip tied the main wire harness all the way up to the front. I also went a little bit extra here. I already connected the LED flasher relay. They do include that, which is really nice since they do put all the LEDs in with the kit. So I appreciate that. So I just went ahead and just connected it up just so I know that this is already used. I can't possibly go back and use it for anything else. Also, if we flip around to this side, I did go ahead and I put her horn right here. So I just found a spot. This is just for the fenders, so it's not a real structural part. But I just undid one of them and bolted it in there. Horn should be hidden up here. You'll definitely still hear it. And then I just did the through the loop that's right there for your clutch cable and stuff and your choke. I just ran the wire through there and just connected it right up. So that leads the harness being right here, which should be perfect for all your controls up top, and the headlight switch. So going with that, that leads me into this. So we have the headlight. So this is the Polisport Halo light. It's not the LED. I didn't want to go with the LED. It doesn't need to be the best thing on the market. It just needs to be something. And it has a lot of different features. It has like extended brackets and stuff in case you have too many wires in here. We're going to see how it looks with either or, I guess. We're going to have to play around with that. I think the extended is probably what we're going to need. But regardless, it actually has a little city light. If you want to get a close-up of that, it gives you a little wiring diagram. So you actually have a little city light in there, and then you actually have your low beam and high beam, which they call medium and maximum. So it's very interesting. I'm going to open this up now, and we're going to see how this is really, this kit. I mean, I think it's going to look pretty good, personally. Back with the headlight, I just want to show you guys, this is the extended brackets on here. I did just go ahead and mount them up. There's no way I'm going to use the smaller brackets. They are really, really tiny. Actually, they would go this way. They're really, really tiny. And with the front brake line and everything else, I'm already going to have a hard time clearing it. So I had to go immediately to the extended. And I'm going to have to put the, I'm going to have to go get an H4 socket and everything else for it. All right, guys, we're back over on the front of the bike. And this is a mock-up of what it's going to look like. So like I said, this is the Polisport Halo Light. And install was really easy. Once I got those things through, you could see you just have these rubber straps that go around your fork tubes. And I just set it to the highest position I could. But yeah, it's really easy. You just keep tightening them as tight as you can go, really, to make it locked on there. And this thing is not going anywhere at all. It's really on there. And I like it a lot. So this is what it's going to look like, guys. I really can't hook anything else up to it because I have to look at the wiring here. And I have to go get myself a H4 bulb socket that has the 3 wires coming out of it, so then I can wire it in. So I'm going to have to hit an Advanced Auto or something tomorrow, or auto part store, any of them really. They'll have one in stock for a couple bucks. So, but I didn't know what the back of the headlight looked like online. No one really had an in-depth review on it. So yeah, that's pretty much that. That I think is going to cover it for this video so far, guys. So just to recap, we did have the headlight here. I just want to unbox it. I have a mock-up of what it looks like, and I'm really happy with that. I think it's going to look really good, especially with black handguards, black bars. It's gonna look good. I think it will. I got the rest of the wiring harness all wired through here. We got the fender mocked up. Once again, I'm going to have to do errands tomorrow to get a couple longer bolts. No big deal. That'll be a couple dollars. Not too worried about it. At the end of the day, I think $10 more and we'll be able to button up the whole wiring process of this kit. And that's going to be it for now. On the next video, guys, of this KLX build, I think you're going to see us open up that Trail Tech Vapor dash system. And that's going to give us the RPM, the speed that we need. It's going to give us mileage. It's going to give us all that good stuff. Oh, and it also has engine temp sensors and everything else. So I'm really excited to throw that together. Even though I do not have the bars in yet, I'm going to go ahead and wire that up and get that installed because I can easily swap out the 7/8 adapter for the 1 1/8 fat bar adapter that they do include. They include both of them in their kit, which is so nice. So I'll still be able to get that mounted up, get a feel for what that looks like. And from there, once you guys see me install the other things, then we'll proceed. Once I can get the handguards on, I'll be able to do the blinker, the rest of the wiring, just button up all the connectors, and then I'll be able to mount all the switches to the handlebars, rather. So that's just going to be it, guys. That's episode 2 of this build series. Yeah, like I always say, guys, if you guys are enjoying this build series, make sure you smash that thumbs up. If you have any questions on why I chose certain things, or if you need a little bit more of an in-depth, post it down below. Maybe I can make a little bit of a more in-depth look on the next episode or something like that. So let me know. And yeah, till next time, guys, take it easy. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye.